another episode of At the Closing Table. I'm here actually at my client's new house. You want to introduce yourselves?
Hey guys, my name is Barry. My fiance here, Allison. We actually bought a house a few months ago and we moved in not too long afterwards, and here we are now.
Boom. So I just want to hear from your perspective how this process went.
Yeah, so going into the process, we were actually looking in the beginning of January this year. We weren't too sure what exactly we were looking for, but at the same time, we're open-minded to a lot of options. He helped to introduce us to the process, the overall process pretty well, made us really comfortable with even just looking at houses to begin with, going to open houses, and then eventually, putting down offers for the houses that we were interested in. But it was a new experience, and having Alan here helped us understand and felt really comfortable with it in the end.
Allison, did you have any fears about this process when you started?
Not really. I think I really trusted you and just the entire team, and you guys really made the entire process so simple from start to finish. So, not really any concerns along the entire process. Just made it really seamless and stress-free.
Nice. That's exactly what I want to hear. So they took my recommendation of contacting Matt Tran from Total Mortgage to obtain financing. How was your experience with Matt?
He always made himself available, basically 24/7, weekends, evenings. So he kind of walked us through the entire process, start to finish, and just kind of was there for us to answer all of our questions.
I think the biggest thing was like seeing the price breakdown, or like an itemized list of all the costs associated with financing a house. That's with Allison being like an accountant, she wants to see those level of detail, and me not being very aware of that. It was helpful to see that level of detail being provided by Matt on his end as well. So I think having him give us that attention was really helpful to just get an understanding of exactly what we're paying for, because this is a pretty big investment, so that was pretty important for us.
Yeah. And then when we got the offer accepted, we were able to get you guys an inspection. You guys took my recommendation of using Chris from Hawkeye Home Inspections. What did you guys think of him?
Chris was a really nice guy, actually. He was really informative. He kept it informal, but at the same time he was very professional, which made it, I guess, really comfortable for us. Walking with him throughout the house, looking at different parts and different aspects of the inspection, and at the same time we were able to not only learn from him but see where we can make improvements, and all those sorts of details that the inspector would provide us information on. But we had a good experience with Chris.
Nice. And probably the last person that was involved with this deal would be Christina from Touchstone Closing and Escrow. What do you guys think of her?
She knew her stuff for sure.
Yeah, she because with all that legal language, it kind of gets difficult and confusing to kind of understand all the documentation and everything like that. So she was really helpful in kind of putting that into more simpler terms too.
Yeah, that's exactly
help
what she
us
did.
understand basically everything that we were getting into.
Yeah.
And then I'm not going to ask you this because we've known each other forever, but how was your experience with me?
It was awesome. You're great to work with. I mean, you're really personable, and I just really think that your work ethic really kind of stands out, because I can really tell that you really love what you do, building relationships with your clients, and just kind of getting to know us, and just kind of acting in our best interest. So
Nice.
So super thankful for all that you've done for us. So it's great working with you.
I appreciate that. Any tips for first-time home buyers?
We were looking for a decent amount of time, I think, right, Alan? We started it like in January. What I mentioned earlier.
It was snowing. It was cold. Remember?
Yeah, it was really cold, and it started getting warm. That was our transition of the time frame.
Yeah.
But we were looking at houses for a few months, and we actually were looking at houses on a weekly basis. And I think our takeaway from all that was kind of being consistent with the houses we were looking at, taking the time out of our normal day-to-day routines and just working with Alan to see what was available on a weekly basis, because just the share, increasing the quantity of houses we were looking at just increased our chances of finding a house that we would like and eventually put an offer down. So like consistency was definitely a big thing for us, and just dedicating some time to this overall process. And having Alan there also on a consistent basis was really helpful, because especially if we're looking at so many houses on such a routine basis, having someone like Alan being available on pretty quick notice is really helpful. Especially if we had any specific questions, he would be there to help answer those questions and just give us his opinion on certain things or not. And overall, it was just really, really helpful for that.
I would say whenever you're going to look at a house, it really helps to put a list of pros and cons together, and then bring it to your realtor, because it's kind of nice to see a different point of view in terms of making a decision. So I would say that's kind of one of the biggest tips.
Yeah, because
you kind of went through.
Because we have a list, obviously, and you may or may not hit all the items on your list in terms of priorities of what you want in your house, whether it's location or the age of the house or what's available in the house, the size of it and all that. But like if you're able to prioritize it and like have some feedback from your real estate agent, that really helps make a selection better, because like I said, it's very rare to come across something that is exactly what you want, because at the end of the day, price is also a consideration. So maybe something that checks all the boxes is there, but the last item that doesn't check is the price point. So like you have to take that into consideration, obviously.
Definitely. I always say it, you're picky, you gotta pay for it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So looking at our deal, and why it was kind of very unique from all the other deals that I've had, was this house actually had an accepted offer on it.
Yep. And
you guys had saw it, missed the opportunity, but I built a good relationship with the seller, because it was actually a for sale by owner. And he had reached back out to me when his original deal fell through. We were able to get a deal technically like off market and get you guys some really good terms, a good price, and get your inspection and everything. But the takeaway there is that if you weren't in the market, we would have never known about this coming back to market.
Right.
So I have a ton of clients that they want a deal, but they're not willing to put in the work to get that deal,
Yeah.
So I think that's the best takeaway from this experience was, you have to take the time and look at houses to understand what you're getting for your money. And if you're involved in the market and a deal pops up, you might be able to take advantage of it, right?
Exactly. That sounds exactly what happened. And if it wasn't for, I guess, the relationship that Alan built with the seller of the house we ended up purchasing from, we may not have had this deal fall through. And we were actually surprised, to get into the details a little bit. We were surprised that the deal fell through originally, and then Alan was able to get back in contact and pull it through for us. So we were just surprised, but at the same time we were really happy it actually happened.
Yeah, I'm surprised too. I'm glad that it all worked out.
It all worked out for sure.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for doing this. This is very helpful for my future first-time home buyers. So thank you guys.
Anytime.